In the next 88 minutes, I'm going to show you my exact sales process that allowed me to close over $6 million by the age of 23 in remote high-ticket sales. And I'm not that special. I literally went from working at McDonald's at 19 years old with no sales experience to doing all of this by the age of 23. I used to be shy, I had bad communication skills, I could barely talk to people. Fast forward 5 years, I've trained multiple sales teams. After taking thousands of sales calls, I've closed a lot. And what you're going to be watching in this video is a paid mastermind in Bali where multiple salespeople, closers, sales managers and business owners and coaches came to learn that sales process that I use. We covered how to start the call, how to run a good discovery, how to pre-handle objections like think about it, money, partner, time, fear, how to collect more cash up front, how to build urgency in prospects, and ultimately how to close more deals. We break down the exact process, do live role plays and Q&As. So pay attention, lock in, because it's going to be a valuable one. So, how do you guys start off your sales calls?
A little bit of rapport, and sometimes now just say, like, I guess what made you want to jump on the call, just so I can make sure you get the most value out of it.
Yeah.
I find that makes them try to justify straight away, like, why they're on there.
Yeah.
Instead of me, like, I set the frame, but I don't feel like much different happens, like, as long as I'm in control of the call. So I've been testing that out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyone else have anything different? They set a frame at the start? Cool. First thing I do is like literally 20 seconds of, hey, how are you? Where are you based? Oh, cool. Something I learned from one of my mentors, Brooke, she gave me this really good line that I've been testing out lately, which is, how are you feeling about today's call? So just straight off the bat, you can actually connect with the person, like you were saying before. How are you feeling about the call? Yeah, you know, I'm pretty skeptical, right? You might get something like that, but at least it's out in the open. It's not just this elephant that's hiding under. So I do about 20 seconds of that. Then I go into, cool, what outcome are you wanting to achieve with the business? If you're selling fitness, what outcome are you looking to achieve when it comes to your health and your physique? Between here, you can do a frame if you like. I think when you're newer, it can definitely help. I would just avoid making it super formal. Like every fucking person on their feed has seen a sales guy being like, yep, so you know, at the end of the call, if I feel like I can help, I'll walk you through what that looks like. And I just want a yes or a no by the end of the call. By the way, are there any other decision makers? Like, it just raises resistance straight away. So my frame would just be like, cool, just want to find out more about where you're at, where you want to go and see if I can help. Obviously not everyone we can. So what's the outcome you're wanting to achieve with X right now? That's how I'd start it. Now, the reason I go outcome straight away is instantly, within the first minute, we've got something that they don't have. It's an outcome, right? It's a goal. So instantly, we like create a gap straight off the bat. And then you'll see we get deeper on this and what their ideal looks like throughout the whole call. But from the start, we're at least acknowledging that, hey, they're not where they want to be. So like you were kind of saying, it puts them on the back foot's probably wrong word. We're not like fighting them, but like back foot in a sense where they have to justify, okay? Then from there, it's current. Like what are they currently doing to achieve outcome? Okay, so let's just role play. If I'm selling fitness. Devin, so when it comes to your health, like what are you looking to achieve right now?
Lose 20 kilos.
Okay, cool. And like what are you currently doing to lose 20 kilos?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay, gotcha. How long have you like wanted to lose 20 kilos for?
Like 12 months.
Okay, and you haven't done anything over the last 12 months?
I sort of tried a couple of times, but nothing right now.
Okay, cool. So that would be current. What are they doing and how long? Then from there, it's like this process that they're going through, are they happy with it? Right? So, okay, like over the last 12 months, like trying a few things, maybe not sticking with everything, like are you like 100% happy with the results you're getting from doing it that way?
No.
Okay, so like possibly time to make some changes? Sweet. That would be health and fitness. If we're selling like B2B, we're selling to like $100 million business, it's like, cool. What are you currently doing? Like what's an outcome that someone might want that you sell to?
That someone might say. Taking down, well, an outcome just might be, for example, having better presence online when in Google search engines.
Okay, awesome. They want to achieve better presence online.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So based off this, like what would be the next thing you might ask?
What you're doing right now.
In regards
to getting better presence on search engines.
100%. I would also take it a step further. Like, what does better presence mean? Like that's super fucking vague. Like how much is your offer?
Between 4 to 6K.
So like, is someone going to spend 4 to 6K to get a better presence? Probably not. Are they going to spend 4 to 6K to get more leads so they can convert more, they have more leads to begin with, they can make more money as a business? Yeah, 100%. How long have they been doing it that way? And then like, there's a few different ways you can ask that like happy question. There's like, are you 100% happy with it? That could be another way you could ask it, right? And then again, they're admitting, hey, I'm not where I want to be. Yes, I'm not happy with how I'm trying to get there. Because you would have some people that are like, yeah, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm like 100% happy with how I'm doing things. Like I really don't think I need to change anything. Cool, like there's no problem there. Like why would I sell to that person? So I want to get them to say they're not happy with how they're doing it as well. Yeah.
So what if it's like someone that wants to get into sales right now, they're a carpenter, and you ask the current question, what are you currently doing? But like really, they're not doing anything because it's something completely different. You know what I mean?
So yeah. So this is like their process, right? So if your outcome question and they say they want to make more money, their process of making money is their job.
So what are you doing for work at the moment?
Exactly.
How long have you been doing that? Gotcha.
Yeah. What's got you considering remote sales rather than just continuing to work as X?
Current process, done.
Yeah, that's the only difference there. Now, from this point is normally maybe like a little bit more on problem and pain, might be where you stop on a set call. Then from there, it's like the rest of the close call, I call overview. This is one of the most important sections. This is where most objections can be prevented. So this would be DIY objection can be prevented, fear can be handled here, like as much as you can. You can only handle fear so much before. Things like money as well, skepticism, you know, around things being a scam, things like that. All of that can be pre-handled in this overview section. So the way I start this off is sweet. In terms of getting to 10K a month, or in terms of losing 10 kilos, like I actually think anyone can go out there and do that on their own. It's just maybe a matter of how long it takes, how many obstacles you got to jump over, right? So for you, Devin, like why not try and, I don't know, just go on YouTube University, study books for free? Like what's got you considering outside help?
There's just so much information out there, I don't really know where to look. It seems like it would be smarter to learn from someone directly who's already done it.
Okay, why do you feel like it'd be smarter to do that though?
Rather than trying to find the information I don't know I need, it's easy to talk to someone who knows exactly what.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's refreshing to speak to someone like that who actually understands the value in like learning from someone who's done it before. Because you'd be surprised, like you probably see those guys where they've got this ego, like they don't want to ask for help even though they need help. So it's refreshing to speak to someone like you. Because where do those guys end up? The guys that just never ask for help.
They end up stuck for ages and not making lots of money.
Yeah, cool. Just pause. Obviously, most of us have probably been taught the DIY removal. Did anyone notice what I did just after that?
Planted the seed.
What's that?
You basically planted the seed on identity.
How so?
You put himself as somebody that doesn't have an ego and somebody that wouldn't prefer to do things by himself because it knows the importance of having a specialist, and that puts an identity into him that then he wants to live by that and prove to yourself that that's also the case.
100%. Who here has heard of operant conditioning? Has anyone heard of that?
Say it again?
Operant conditioning?
No.
Okay. So they studied on these rats, right? And basically, long story short, they found out that humans, rats, whatever, all the fucking same, we're all motivated by positive stuff more than negative stuff in a sense of behavior, right? So what that means is like, if you know, your girlfriend does something that you really like, you would praise her for that, right? If someone does something that you want them to do more of, you praise them for that. So a lot of people will only paint negative behaviors in a bad way, but you're actually more persuasive if you praise the positive behaviors that you like. So when I'm saying, hey, you don't want to do it by yourself, and they say like, yes, that's me, it's like, sweet. Me and this guy, like we're on the same team, right? So I praise you for being like that. I praise you for being the type of person that wants help. And it's like, what do you think of the guys that just let the ego get in the way? So it paints them as the villain. Now, like, is someone going to want to be a villain? Fuck no, right? So that's like one example of like identity. I know Jax, you wanted to touch on identity. Like another thing, like you can literally do little frames, little hooks like this all throughout the call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one we did last week was when you asked them why now, like why is now a good time?
Yeah.
They give you a good answer. You would say like, yeah, it's refreshing to speak to someone that actually has like a clear reason as to why they want to start now.
Mhm.
Because the people that don't have a clear reason, they're the types that usually procrastinate and never actually invest into themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like you're framing them as someone who doesn't procrastinate and does actually take action.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, so if we think of this, because this is the thing, I can teach you guys exactly what to say in scripts. Yeah? Just go.
Can you do the same with a partner, or is that your issue?
Like, what are you
It's
thinking?
refreshing to see someone who takes action without going to their partner.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't on that one. But what I was saying is like, I can teach you guys all these lines and stuff, but what I would rather focus on is like this as a principle in itself of like setting a hook, planting that seed. So just any of us, what would be another example you could think of where you could plant a seed or you could plant a hook on their identity of something that maybe you would ask in a sales call that you can praise someone for?
When I ask them what has been slowing them down from getting the results they wanted, if they give me actually a good answer and they take ownership of the things, I usually praise that, because I say, look, most people like to put it on external, so it's really good the fact that you're taking ownership of that. So that usually tends to go really well.
100%, that's a great one. Anytime someone takes responsibility for something, great one to do. Especially if you sell like a done with you offer, where it's like coaching, they need to do their part as well. Really good. Now, after we do DIY, my thing is like, I then go into, okay, what do they need help with? So, sweet, you mentioned you don't want to do this by yourself. You just told me all the reasons that you want outside help and you don't want to be a lone wolf. Like, what are some things you actually want help with? So if we're selling fitness, like what are some things people might say they want help with?
Learning how to track their food.
Okay, cool. What else?
Nice, building muscle, working better.
Okay. Cool. Now, what about in other offers? What are some things people usually want help with?
Accountability.
Yeah. Now, why is it important for us to find out what they want help with?
Because that allows you to speak to that and tailor the pitch to that.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone ever feels like your pitch is too similar to someone else's pitch or something else they've seen, it's less likely that they'll buy from you. If you can make it so unique and specific to the person that they're like, fuck, this guy's talking to me. Like everything I gave him before, that actually mattered, and he's telling me exactly what I was struggling with and how he's gonna fix it, that's when people are more likely to buy. Because they go, shit, this guy gets me. He understands me. Whereas if you just have the same blanket pitch of diet, nutrition, accountability, and you don't relate it back to what they said they want help with, it's more vague. So what that could look like in the pitch, which we'll touch on in a sec, is like, cool, you know how you mentioned before, Richard, that like you struggle to track your food at the moment, which is like leading to the inconsistencies with the diet? Well, what we do is we make it super easy for you to track your food. We use an app, blah, 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 where you can do X, Y, Z. So you tailor it exactly to what they want. Sweet. We've got DIY. We've got what they want help with. So you said you want to do it with someone, you want help. You told me what you want help with. What would be like, sales tactics aside, what would be your next like question you would have? If a friend was talking to you and they're like, hey man, yeah, like I really want help with this thing. I need help with all these things. What would be the next thing you might want to know?
Why?
Why what?
Why do you feel like you need help with that?
Yeah.
What's the most important?
What's that?
What's the most important?
Yeah.
Would you ask their current strategy and what they're doing to have that solved?
Sort of. Closer. My thing would be like, have you like tried to get help with this? Like, have you looked? Okay, cool. You just told me you want help. You want help with all these things. Like, have you looked at getting help with this stuff? So there's a bunch of different ways you can ask it. You know, before you were chatting with me, have you looked at ways to get help with X, Y, Z? Or what have you been doing? I usually just keep it casual. That's just how I speak. I'm just like, cool, have you like tried to get help with this stuff? Now there's 3 different answers you'll get. You'll either get yes, and I actually did. So like I looked at something and I actually signed up for something. Yes, I looked, but I didn't sign up. And then you've got no. So we're going to spend some time on this because, again, this is where a lot of those objections can be prevented. If someone looked and signed up for something in the past that was similar to what you sell, what's an objection that could lead to? Fear? Yeah,
Fear of
past.
past,
Yeah. Burned. Yeah, I tried something like this and it didn't work. I'm scared to do it again, right? If someone looked at something but they didn't sign up, what's an objection that could lead to? Yes, 100%. Procrastinate.
Money,
Yeah,
like value.
yeah. And then you've got, no, I haven't looked at getting help with this. What could that lead to?
Fear of themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I get like, I just don't know how all this stuff works, so and I think that causes the I haven't really about how I looked at it before. I've never done anything like this before, so it ends up being
Like a coaching program.
yeah, it's avoidance, like is that something new, like fear of change almost.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fear of change, fear of themselves. This one usually leads to some sort of fear. Yeah. Cool. So if someone looked at doing something and they actually signed up for it and they could give us a fear, I've been burned before, objection. Who wants to have a go at maybe how we can handle that? We can just do a quick role play.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, Robert. Okay, cool. I'll be the prospect. So, yeah, you know, I actually did. I signed up for another sales academy about a year ago, actually.
Oh, okay. And how did that go?
It was like, yeah, it was okay. I'm a bit jaded, to be honest, because I paid a lot of money and I didn't really get the results I was looking for.
Okay, cool. When you say you didn't get the results, were there other people in the program that did get the results?
I mean, yeah, from their testimonials, there were other people that got the results, yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do you feel like the difference was between you and those other people?
I think maybe they just like, they already had sales experience before. Like I think they got more coaching and I don't know, maybe they got lucky.
Yeah, got lucky. What do you mean by that?
You know, like I think maybe they were just given a better hand than me to start with.
Okay. Actually,
No, that was actually good. That was good up until that point. So right at that point is where the prospect went from like, they had two options they could go. They could either blame themselves and take ownership and accountability, or they can put it to external factors. Now, whenever, this is just in general in sales, whenever someone, you can see them externalizing things, as in their problems are someone else's fault, we got to address that. Because if something is not the prospect's fault and there's nothing they can do about it, well then are they going to invest into a program where they have to do things themselves? Probably not. So right there, when they go, oh, you know, maybe they were lucky, we've got to call that shit out right there. So it'd be like, okay, cool. When you say they got lucky, like, what do you mean by that way of thinking? Like, let's just role play. Let's see where it go. So when you say they got lucky, like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, well, you know, some people succeeded, some people didn't. So
Yeah.
I guess it's just the luck of it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, have you ever considered, well, first of all, do you mind if I offer a perspective?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that maybe the people who did see results, they weren't just lucky, but maybe they did certain things that maybe you didn't? Is that a possibility at all?
Possibly, but like at the same time, I did do everything I was told.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like I did everything. So like,
Okay.
that's why I think they got lucky and I didn't.
Right. So you both did everything you got told. They got results, you didn't. And that was luck, you feel like?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I mean, it could be. At the same time, like, that way of thinking, that them seeing results was down to luck, like, do you feel like that way of thinking actually serves you, though?
No.
Why not, though?
Well, they could have actually put in more work at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it doesn't serve me.
Yeah, because, like, have you ever heard of extreme ownership? It's by this bald guy, Jocko Willink.
No.
It's like this
Oh,
ex-Navy
yeah, I've
SEAL.
seen that guy,
Yeah, so like one thing he said that stuck with me is like everything is our fault. right? Like that program may not have been great, and I totally get that. At the same time, like, does it serve you to put the responsibility of your results in your life onto someone else?
No.
Right? Because even if it rains, we have one or two things we can say. Fuck this weather, or damn, I should have brought an umbrella. Like, which one is actually going to help you prepare best for the next situation?
Taking ownership.
Right? So like moving forward, like, even though you had that experience, like, has that not turned you off the idea of like backing yourself again and getting more help?
No, definitely not. 'Cause,
Okay.
I mean, that's why I'm on this call.
Okay, because like some people would let that hold them back though. Like, why hasn't it for you?
I don't know, because I've seen that people have seen success in this, like I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to. Even
Okay.
I've been in the past, like there's no reason why I shouldn't
Cool.
be able to do it.
It's cool that you think like that, because you'd be surprised how many people, like, they get jaded once, they get burnt once, and then they just let that hold them back, and they never actually back themselves again. So like, kudos to you for actually giving yourself another shot. Okay, pause. Any takeaways from that? What do we notice? What do we see in that role play?
You made him take, you gave him a bit of like an example, you made him take accountability and being did the identity thing, like you praised him for taking the accountability.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't like a me versus you, me beating him into submission. Like, yeah, but dude, at the end of the day, like, there's two mindsets you can have. Like, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that, right? I'm asking for permission. Yeah, I get that, right? Acknowledge, bit of empathy. Like, I can see why you think that way. At the same time, like, do you mind if I offer a perspective, right? Ask for permission. Then I share the reframe. Now, you don't have to use that Jocko Willink reframe. You can use whatever you want. This is why I think it's so important, like, if we're in sales, to be constantly learning and upskilling, because you can take all of your life experience, things you learn outside in podcasts, whatever, you can take that into the sales call. And like, I encourage you to, because that's what makes you guys unique. If I just give you that Jocko Willink script, but it doesn't resonate with you guys, it's not going to land as well. It's not going to hit. Okay? So that'd be that one. That was like a burn before, like I tried something, it didn't work. Someone looked at something, but they didn't sign up. Okay, so let's role play this one. I'll just sell to start. Who wants to be a prospect that they looked at doing something in the past, but they didn't sign up? Yeah, okay, cool. Cool, so like before we were chatting, like have you looked at ways to get help with these things so you could lose the weight?
I was kind of looking at a few coaches online. I spoke to one of the trainers at the gym. I didn't end up getting started.
Okay, that's cool. What prevented you from like getting started with the coach?
I've just been so busy with everything, and I just never really got the chance to start with it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to wait till work settles down, and
Yeah.
I could give it my 100%.
Yeah, okay, so the main thing was just having the time.
Yeah.
And how long has that been the case that like you were waiting until you had the time?
Maybe just like the last year because work's gotten so busy. And,
Okay.
I've got a lot of family commitments now. So.
Yeah. And over the last 12 months, like you not having the time, like have you made any progress with your health since then?
I've made good progress because I've been going to the gym.
Okay.
But not as much as I'd like.
Right, okay. And so working with a coach, like what are you expecting that to, like why would that be different to going to the gym, like from a time commitment?
Because I obviously have been trying for so long and I haven't got the result that I wanted. So, and I obviously don't know like what I need to do.
Right. Do you feel like working with a coach would add more onto your plate and add more time? That's why you didn't work with one before?
Yeah, potentially. I've already been struggling to kind of stick with it. So
Right.
yeah, I'm just a bit worried about. I might not be able to do everything that you need to do.
Right.
And I don't want to disappoint you or also waste my time.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so main thing was like just not having the time. But once you do have the time, you feel like that would put you in a better position.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Do you mind if I offer a perspective though?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, you, me, Elon Musk, like we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? And I'm not saying you're not busy because you definitely are. Like you have a job, you have all these things going on. At the same time, like you still make time to go to the gym. You still make time to eat because it's enough of a priority, right? Like no matter how busy we all are, we all make time to eat. So like, is you actually like getting these results and putting in the time to actually lose this weight? Like Like, is that enough of a priority for you to make the time going forward?
Yeah.
Okay, why is it though? Because for some people, like they would always use that as the reason they can't get in the best shape of their life. It's like, why is it actually important enough for you to make the time?
I mean, if I don't make the time now, then I never will. And it's only going to get harder as we go older.
Okay, cool. So going forward, like, are you open to actually setting time aside, regardless of what it takes, so you can actually start to see results?
Yeah.
Okay, you sure? You're not just being polite? Not just tell me what you think I want to hear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did we see how we did that? Similar thing to what we did here. Ask for permission, but before I start to reframe, did you guys notice how deep I'm going on his actual beliefs and what he thinks? Because so many times, someone will say, yeah, I don't have the time, and then they'll just attack it straight away.
Could you simplify and say, well, do you have the time now? Or like, what makes now
How
the
much time
time?
do you have?
Here's the problem with that. I'm building suspense with these sips. This is the only problem with that. If you go, oh yeah, I didn't have the time before, now I do. Oh cool, now you've got the time. Okay, sweet. That might sound like a really good answer. Like, oh sweet, they've got the time now. They're not going to give me that objection.
Yeah.
But have we reframed their way of thinking around internal and external?
Yes, because then by doing that, you're pre-handling the fear objection as well.
Yes.
Or
Because
like to think about an objection.
Yeah, because if we just let that slip, oh sweet, this guy's got the time now, he's sweet, we haven't addressed the fact that this guy's putting his life and his results on external factors. So that's why we address it, even if they say now they have the time. Now, after that, and you'll see what we do after this phase, but after that, we go into urgency as well. Like, okay, so what's shifted recently when now it is enough of a priority for you to actually make the time so you can start to see results? What's different now? So we'd go into that after. Now, last one. If, actually let's keep going because there's more of these to be fair. Yeah.
Question in regards to the time reframe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on tying up with the consequence? What happens if you don't make the time?
Yeah.
And then go into why now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. You could finish it off like, yeah, because I mean, what happens if you always use that reason of not having the time as the reason you can't see results? Like, how do you see yourself changing if you always use that excuse? Or you always use that reason? It's probably a better word.
What about even saying at the very beginning, so if they bring up time, you say, have you actually considered like what you've actually missed out by not prioritizing this?
Yeah. Because like over the last 12 months, like you not setting aside the time, what's that cost you?
What do you mean? Your physique's like goals.
Yeah, like with your health and physique, like not making the time to get a coach so you can actually see results, what's that cost you?
I mean, I've not lost the weight. I'm still not happy with like where my physique is at. Yeah, just wasting time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Same thing, just deeper. Yeah, 100% you can add these things at the end. Yeah. Any questions on that? Cool. Now, if someone looked at getting help, they didn't sign up, so he gave me time. Let's do money. I think this is a good one because a lot of us would be scared to handle money objections before we've price dropped. So I think this will be spicy. Let's do an ROI offer because we've done a lot of fitness. So who wants to role play? Yeah. Okay, sweet. So the reason you looked at a company but you didn't sign up is because of money. You can decide what that means to you, but we're going to role play.
Right.
So I'm starting to you. So before you looked at us, like have you been looking for ways to get help with your marketing and your social media?
I look at some ways, but then I never ended up moving forward because things were just so expensive.
How do you mean?
So I looked into some programs, but they were asking for several thousands of dollars, and
Right.
at the time it didn't make sense for me to move forward with that.
Okay, and what about it like didn't make sense to you at that time?
What about what?
What about it didn't make sense to you at that time?
Especially financially where I was.
Okay, like with the money that you
Yeah.
had, the budget you had set aside for it?
The budget I had set aside for it, yeah, it was
Right.
just too much money they were asking for.
Okay, gotcha. So like if you got the results you're wanting, if you increased the business by X revenue, would that have been worth 7,000 to you if you actually got the result though?
Yeah, probably too.
Okay, why would it have been though?
Yeah, because if I really got the results you were saying, which would be like 10,000 a month in a couple of months, then it would pay it off.
Okay. And how long ago was that conversation that you looked at that, getting help?
Oh, like 6 months ago.
Okay, gotcha. So, by the way, like I appreciate you actually sharing that with me because that's the only way I can help is if I have context. So what's different now? Like what's changed for you?
Yeah, I would say I was able to get a bit more in savings in the meantime. But yeah, at the same time, I just feel like I do need to take some action when it comes to having some external help.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to you for having that like investor's mindset because a lot of people, they'd rather just like take time and do it the free route. Because like over the last 6 months when you like didn't have the money to invest into getting help, like what's that cost the business over the last 6 months?
Well, if I actually got to the results that we're saying, several tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, because do you mind if I offer a perspective around the money? Because I think
Yeah.
this is interesting and important. It's like, have you ever heard the difference between being broke and being poor?
No.
Right? I'm not calling your business poor. Like I wouldn't say that. But like the difference, it's not in like how much money someone has. It's a difference in resourcefulness, right? Because I'm sure you know Walt Disney, yeah?
Yeah.
Like started Disneyland in black and white days, wanted to start a little kids theme park made for adults. Now he did not have the money to do it, but he had a dream. And when he had that dream, he was resourceful enough to go out there and find ways to raise the funds so that he could start his dream. And you know, he's passed away now, but I mean, he was however many millions rich, right? So 6 months ago, like what stopped you guys from getting resourceful to find ways to come up with the funds so that you could actually get that return on investment?
Yeah. I don't know, I just, at the time I thought it was very expensive, but probably what stopped me was just, yeah, I wasn't being able to find the money, and probably I wasn't resourceful as well. In that sense.
And so that's shifted now though?
Yeah.
You sure? You don't seem so sure.
Yeah, if I see the value, of course.
Right, okay, cool. And in terms of the value, like if everything made sense, felt right, and you actually felt like it could help you guys add those extra 10, 20K months, like is there anything else that would stop you from getting started?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Also the value.
Cool. Pause, role play out. Any takeaways from that? Anything we noticed? No?
You isolated everything.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And notice how I haven't talked about the price of our program yet. It's like, it's all around his mindset and what stopped him in the past. Because this whole section here is all figuring out how these people buy. How do these people buy? How do they make decisions? What held them back? Do they externalize all their problems? Do they use time as the excuse? Do they use them being burned? Like whatever it is, if we can handle that right here, it's going to make our job at the end of the pitch so much easier. Yep.
I always see pre-handling money in like business offers that makes a lot of sense. Like if the offer works, it'll pay for itself. Fitness offers I feel so hard to like pre-handle, and sometimes like business owners are people that are typically invested in themselves in their lifetime.
Yeah.
But fitness people like never spend money on themselves again.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like will be like like money mindset stuff.
Yeah.
So how can you pre-handle a money-based objection in fitness offer?
Really good question. Really good question. So there's a few hacks you can do, and then I'll role play it with you for fitness and show you how I do it. Now, on fitness offers specifically, this is not applicable to ROI business offers. For fitness offers specifically, when you're in that like learning phase, as like what they're currently doing, what their current habits are like, I forget the acronym for it, but you essentially find out like how many times do they go out to eat? How often do they drink? How often do they smoke? You know, so the way I would word it is if we're role playing, right, I'd say to you, okay, cool, and in terms of like eating out, like obviously we're all human, like how often would you say you eat out?
Just a couple of times a week.
Okay, like 2-3 times a week?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that like, salads, or is that like a Big Mac? Like what are we talking?
I'll probably do something on the go once or twice, and then maybe a dinner with my friends.
Yeah.
Maybe like $100, $150.
Okay, cool, like $100 a week.
Yeah.
And then how often do you drink?
Maybe once a week I have a couple of drinks.
Yeah. And do you smoke at all? No? Any other fun stuff?
No. Any subscriptions?
Any other subscriptions? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. No, thanks for sharing that. I guess with that, like, are you open to maybe shifting some of the money, not all of it, but some of the money that you spend eating out towards things that are going to improve your health instead? Is that something you'd be open to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That'd be like a little hack I do earlier for
Would you
fitness.
get there after they've said, oh, money stopped me, and then you would ask those questions, and then
No.
you should be asking those in every call?
Yes, ask this on every call. This is like early on. This is early on before you get to this stage.
Yeah, just basic questions.
Yes, for fitness specifically.
Yeah.
Because it gives you leverage for so many other things
If
later
they
in the
then say
call.
something about money,
Yes.
you've got that to fall back on.
Yeah. Now, it's not like you go, well, hey man, you told me you're spending $100 a week. Like, it's not like that. But you can use this in your back pocket.
To help them out.
Exactly. Now, let's go back to the role play on money held you back on a fitness offer. Okay? So, cool. Before you were chatting with me, have you looked at getting help like with these things so you could lose the weight?
Yeah, I spoke to a few trainers, but I didn't end up getting started. It's just so expensive.
Oh, right. How do you mean?
Oh, it's just like, $100 a week. Like, I just couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. And because what do you do for work again?
I work in an office.
Yeah. Yeah. I getcha. I guess like with that being said, like in terms of it being too expensive for you to get started, like if you got the results, if you actually lost a 10 or 20 kilos so that you could show up better in your life, would that be worth $100 a week to you?
100%, yeah.
Okay, cool. So it was just about like having it and making it work financially? Okay, I getcha. I guess like with what we said before in terms of like maybe going out or, other areas of your life, you know yourself better than I do. Like what are some ways you feel like you can make sure that money isn't the reason you don't get help moving forward?
Maybe I could just, have less takeout and cut out the drinking for a little bit.
Yeah.
And put some of the money from that.
Yeah. Because have you ever heard, now it's going to sound weird, but I would actually go back to that broke and poor thing again. I would actually use that reframe for fitness too. I would just reword it slightly. So it'd be like broke versus poor. It's not a difference in money. It's a difference in resourcefulness. Walt Disney had a dream, right? For you, is you actually losing the weight to get in better shape? Is that important enough for you to find a way to make it work, to get resourceful, so that you can actually get the results you want and you can live a better life in XYZ area? That's how I would word that.
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, I think I've tried to go through resourcefulness reframes before.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it's a bit hard to get it to land. It's probably the way I'm saying it, and maybe not having done the going out and drinking before. But yeah, sometimes I just find it difficult for it to land.
Yeah.
How do I
Yeah, I haven't seen you deliver it. Like what's the age range you typically sell to?
probably 25 to 30, sometimes be younger, like 23.
Okay.
Especially when we get some of the younger ones, like 20, 20, 25, like
Yeah.
sometimes they're not working full time or they're studying, and then they're cooking more than
Yeah.
finances, so it's fair.
So a few things with that. Oh, actually, you just added another thing by your end sentence just then.
Yeah.
So one, it could be delivery. I haven't seen you do it. So it could be delivery and making sure you speak with emphasis, pauses, pace, you deliver it the right way. It could be that. It could be genuinely they're broke uni students, which is a fucking thing.
Which is what I want off anyway, it's not always that anyway.
Yeah, it could be that. It could also be you're not getting enough pain. So like all of this, like them not having the money at the end, it could actually just be down to pain and not building enough of a gap. Because you'd be surprised, like if something is important enough to someone, they will find a fucking way. Like all of you guys in this room, if I said, your mother will fucking die tomorrow if you don't rack up 10K in the next week. Like you'll...
There's the Andy Elliott coming out.
Well, that's true. Like you will find a way. You'd find a way. So now obviously it's different with fitness, but if you can really get these people to realize like, fuck, yeah, like I need to do something. And this is the thing with sales, right? Is like not everyone is going to have the same level of pain. You know, it's not just in terms of how much weight someone has. It could just mean what it means to them, right? Like people take their health at different levels of seriousness.
Some people that come to us to training already, decent shape, they're not that overweight.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting that height is a bit more tricky. Like they want to go from like looking okay.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a bit trickier. It's more of like the leaving the results that they could have their full potential on the table,
Yes.
rather than I'm going to die or I'm going to.
This is a good side note to go on before we address these ones. This also applies to you. For any of us that might sell to someone that they're already doing well, they just want to get to that next level. This applies to when you sell to people like that. Not everyone is motivated by the consequence, by the hell, right? Everyone's got their heaven and everyone's got their hell. Now, if you sell like BizOp, like someone that wants to quit their job, someone that's like very overweight, they'll usually be more motivated by running away from this, right? It's the pain. But there are sometimes people that are more motivated by the heaven. If you're speaking to a business owner that's already making $50,000, $100,000 a month, and he wants to get to $1 million a month, he's not like, maybe deep down psychologically, he's got some shit going on that's motivating him. But on the sales call, you're not going to sell to that. You're going to sell to his heaven. And I would go after the identity. So it's like, cool, you're already in decent shape, Mr. Prospect. Like, what is it about getting like visible six-pack abs that actually appeals to you? Right? So we praise them, or you know, you're already at $50,000 a month. I mean, a lot of business owners would be happy at that point. Like, what is it about getting to $1 million a month that's driving you? What is it about the heaven that's driving you when you're already doing fairly well? That's a little way you can like pump someone's ego, make them feel good, but also take away from them at the same time. So in that example, or if someone's wanting to get to that next point, it's all about their identity. Like, who do they get to become when they are that point? So like, I used to sell on an offer, I used to sell an e-commerce coaching offer, but this was for business owners that were already doing $30,000 a month with their store. So it wasn't like your typical like beginner crowd, leave their 9 to 5. It was like, hey, I'm doing decent, I want to get to that next fucking level. And one of the calls I remember, I sold to, he was already making $500,000 a month with his store. Now, e-com profit, I don't know what that is. I think it's like 30%, something like that. So, you know, he was making pretty good coin, like already a millionaire, right? Already top 1% of 1%. And so for him, I was like, okay, so what is it about getting to $1 million a month that appeals to you? And he was like, you know, I want to be able to just buy whatever I want. Right now, I can already buy everything. I can live comfortably. But he was like, to be honest, man, like, I want to be flying jets. I want to be flying private instead of first class, right? Each their own. I don't judge. But I would just ask him like, okay, what is it about that appeals to you? What is it about being the guy that flies private? What is it about being the guy that turns up in a Lambo? And for him, like, it was just being that guy. Like, that's all it was. And that appealed to him. And that's okay. Everyone's got different reasons. So if someone's like already in good shape and they just want to get fucking dick skin shredded, like, cool, just find out what about that appeals to that guy. Dick skin shredded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I speak a little vulgar, it's the Aussie in me.
It's all good. Kind of like.
Cool.
If we need a translator.
What do you mean by that?
Dick skin shredded? Yeah, you wouldn't know that, would you? Okay, cool. Last one. They looked at getting help, but they didn't... they haven't looked at getting help. Have you looked at getting help with these things? No, I haven't. That's the last one. So, like we said, that could lead to objections of they didn't look because they're afraid of change. Maybe they didn't look because they're afraid that, you know, they might not do the work. It could be a bunch of different reasons. It's normally fear. Another one it can be is lack of urgency. This can also lead to think about it. This one right here. Be very wary of the person that hasn't looked at getting help with something. Because they might say something like, no, I just didn't look. I didn't look at getting help. You guys are the first ones I've seen. Okay, how long have you been wanting to like change what you do for work? Oh, it's probably been on my mind for the last few months. Okay, like over the last few months, like what prevented you from looking? Oh, I just didn't see anything out there. You know, I just saw your guys' ad. Okay, I get that. I mean, at the same time, you don't just click on every ad you see, right? I'm sure there's some ads you don't click on. Like, what was it about our ad you saw that actually sparked your interest? Oh, this, I liked the way you guys spoke about this and this. Okay, cool. At the same time as well, like, if this has kind of been on your mind for the last 3 months, like, what do we normally do when we have a problem? Someone role play with me. I'm sick of role playing with myself. Yeah. What do you normally do when you have a problem and you want to find an answer to it? Yeah. And like, how would you try and fix it? Like, what are some ways you would go about finding an answer to something that you don't know?
If I need to fix something in the house, I call a plumber or a handyman.
Yeah.
Didn't know something, I could search it up online.
Yeah, maybe use Google, use ChatGPT, right? Like you research, you find a way. So like, what prevented you over the last few months from like actually looking and actually trying to find a way?
I've just not really had anyone that I know that would be able to help me.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, I've just not. You're the first person I've spoken to about it, so I've just not seen anyone that I know can help me fix this.
Mm-hmm. When you say like see someone you know that can fix it, like what are you hoping to see from someone that would have you feel like they can fix it?
Just someone that obviously has got results before with other people, and I know can help me and show me things that I'm not aware of.
Okay. And did you look to try and find people like that?
Not really.
Okay. What prevented you?
I think I was just not sure if they could actually help me.
In what sense?
I just didn't know if it would really work.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if other people have gotten results with a coach and maybe they were given similar accountability and support and coaching, like what would be the only difference between them and you?
Just their effort.
Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, like just being real, like anyone can get in the best shape of their life, right? 2 people can sign up to a gym. One will get in the best shape of their life. One will say that the gym equipment was dirty. Like what's the difference between the two? Right? So for you, like, and I get it, like it's hard to make that change, but what do you feel like needs to change within you to actually become the person that's going to find a way to make their health and their physique a priority and make it work no matter what?
I need to be more disciplined and put in more effort. Yeah.
Okay. And like, if I can put my coaching hat on for a sec, like, are you open to me holding you accountable to that standard?
Yeah.
Cool. Now that's specific to like fitness coaching. You can also do this on other coaching offers as well. Is like, can I put my coaching hat on for a second? Can I hold you accountable to that? Because what seed does that plant for later in the call when they're maybe being a little bit of a bitch?
You're being the coach, not the salesperson.
Yes, exactly. Okay, cool. 2 hours. So that would be that. Now that should prevent a lot of these. Fear, burned, money. Now sometimes you'll miss things. Sometimes people won't say it, or maybe we won't have as good of a lie detector hat on to sense that they're not saying something or they're not mentioning something. And that just happens over reps and over time. Like if you guys sell over Zoom, you'll start to get pattern recognition. Like the amount of times that someone just like hasn't said something, but there's just this face they've got. And I'm like, there's something about your face. Like you're not telling me everything, right? And if you get that, like I would just, you don't say it, but I would call that out into the open. Like I could be totally off here, but I get the sense that I'm missing something. You'd be surprised how often they actually feel that. Yeah, to be honest, man, I'm just really skeptical. Like I know at some point you're going to charge and there's going to be a price and I'm just a bit hesitant of that. Hey, dude, thank you for sharing that. Like, thank you for actually being real with me. Because a lot of people would never say anything, right? Empathy, acknowledge, like, yes, I'm with you. Then you can go into the reframe. Cool, that's overview. This is one of my favorite parts of the call. This is where, like, honestly, it's a little manipulative in the best possible way, but you can really get people's emotions in this part of the call. So this is what I call future pace, or, just future. By the way, I didn't create this. I learned this after investing like $150,000 into mentors. And so that's where I got this from. But all of this is essentially like, what is the 1.0 and what is the 2.0 version of this person? Now, you can sell a bunch of different ways. A lot of the time, if I'm selling an ROI-based offer, I sell based off money. and then I attach that money to the person and the identity. If you're selling fitness, it's heavy identity sell. Like, what is it about the 1.0 version of this person and the 2.0 version of this person? If you're selling to someone that's already making a lot of money, it's like, it's business, but it's also identity. It's a bit of a mix of both. But overall, it's just where are they now in life and where do they want to be? And then like, where do they not want to be, which we'll get to. Now, there's a lot of different ways that this section is taught. Some people will say that, you know, you get all of your pain and negative emotion early in the call, and then here you just strictly get positive, like their dreams, aspirations, what they want, and then you go back to negative. In the way I sell, like when I'm in this future pace, I make this a roller coaster. Like I really get this on emotional high and low. So I don't always get all of my pain early on in the call. A lot of the time I get my pain here. Now how I do that is I would say something like, I'll do ROI in fitness. So if it's ROI, it'd be like, okay, sweet. So right now, you know, you're making 3K a month and you want to get to 10K a month, you know, with whatever vehicle you're selling. I guess what's different at this point? Like once you're at the 2.0 version of you that's making 10K a month, like what would that allow you to do, be, have that maybe you don't right now? And let's role play this. Let's get, who wants to be a future pace prospect? Someone tell me all of your emotional desires and dreams. Yep, okay, cool. So we got 1.0 version of Barkley and we got 2.0. So what is it about this version that's making 10K a month? Like what would this allow you to be, do, have that maybe you don't right now?
I think it'll let me travel more.
Okay. What else?
Travel, just not worry about money. I think that's the big one.
Are you worried about money right now though?
Yeah, like quite a bit.
How so?
I mean, like, yeah, I'm only making 3K. It's tough to go eat out.
Like,
I always have to watch how much I'm spending. I have to like cheap out on certain meals, like not ordering drinks and stuff like that.
right. Like, how long have you not been able to do that for?
Oh, last few years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that been doing to you?
Pretty shit feeling, honestly.
Yeah. Cool. Just pause. See how we went like positive and then we went to pain? That's what I mean. You can anchor what someone wants to what they don't have. If someone wants to be happier, this is a killer fucking line you can use. Literally steal this line. It'll help you make so much money. I want X. Okay, do you not have as much of X as you'd like to right now though? And I'd say it like that. Oh, are you not as happy as you'd like to be right now though? See that little upward inflection as well? It's like, it's curious, it's endearing. It's not like, are you not happy right now? So are you not as happy as you'd like to be right now though? And like, see the skepticism? Like my eyebrows, I got thick fucking eyebrows, so like it shows, right? But you can squint your eyebrows a little bit. You can make a bit of a face. Like, are you not as happy? Are you not able to go out to restaurants as much as you'd like to right now? No, I'm not. Oh, how often is that the case? X, Y, Z. How long's that been going on for? What's that been doing to you? Not being able to go to these restaurants or to do X, Y, Z. Right? Okay, let's keep going. Cool. Travel, not worry about money. What else would be different?
I'll be able to like give back to friends and family.
How so?
Like I feel like I've been supported a lot, but I just haven't been able to, you know, spend money on them, take them to nice places.
Where do you want to be able to spend money on them that you can't right now?
Just be able to like, for example, if we go eat out, like slap the bill down, we go out like this.
Cool. And where do you want to travel to?
I just want to go to like America, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Where do you want to go in America?
New York.
Okay. Has that been a goal of yours for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I've visited a few times, but I want to like maybe live there for a bit.
Okay. Cool. Quick pause. we've got a bunch of tangibles now. Now this is where I wrap that up in a bow and I make it tied to an emotion. And I would slow down. This is exactly how I would deliver it. So for you, actually is a really strong fucking word. Actually. Like it's real. Not a pipe dream, this is real. Actually being able to make $10,000 a month so that you can never worry about money again, actually be able to just pay the bill for your family and say, don't worry, Barclays got it, and be able to book that flight to New York. Like, what would that mean for you? To actually be able to do that?
Oh, I mean everything.
Now, I'm not saying how would that make you feel, because every sales guy and their fucking donkey has been taught that. Get emotion, get feeling, get pain. People are consuming the same shit we consume. So whenever something gets overused and abused, don't use it, don't say it, switch the wording. Not how would that make you feel, that's the answer we want, but how else can we get it? What would that mean for you? What would that do for you to actually get to that point? Actually becoming the guy that can do these things, like what would that look like, really? Yeah?
Usually I say, why is that important to you? I say everyone's got their own reasons. I don't like to make assumptions, but like, why is that actually important?
Once you get all the tangibles,
Yeah.
that can do the same thing. With all of the questions we ask, the most important thing isn't what we ask, what we say. It's do we get the answer that we need from every single phase? What answer do we want? How do we get that answer, right? Now, how is this person seeing life and seeing the world right now once we've got them feeling these things?
Excited.
Sorry?
Excited.
Yeah.
What that looks like.
Yep. Excited, like hope, maybe belief. Now, so many tangents I can go off. One thing, when you're getting these specifics, you really want to listen to how they say it and what they say, right? If I say, being at 10K a month, what would that allow you to do? Not worry about money. That's pain. That's not positive, that's pain. But he went there. Or they say, I want to be able to buy a Lambo. Okay, cool, that's positive, right? Do you guys see the difference? Like, someone might want these things for different reasons. Again, some people are motivated more by pain. Some people are motivated more by not worrying about money, not having to check the bill, not having to check their bank account, all negative. So if they talk about that and that's what they go to first, I'm going to spend more time on that. If someone spends more time on the positive, I'm going to go deeper on that. I listen to the prospect, I see where they're at, and then tailor it. Okay, cool. We've got positive feeling. Now, who can guess why we don't want to just leave them here? Because if we just end here and then we pitch, once they're feeling all these highs, what could that lead to? Any ideas?
DIY.
Overconfidence.
Overconfidence? Yeah. DIY. Right now, they're in fucking La La Land. Like, in a good way. But like, they have so much belief, so much confidence, so much hope, they're so happy. So now if we pitch, they're like, honestly, man, like, this is really good, but like, I reckon I can do it. I'm fucking G'd up, Orlando. Like, I reckon I can go do this. Fuck no. Does that help them?
No.
Fuck no. So, we're gonna drop these motherfuckers. Like, legit. We're gonna bring them back to reality first, and then we're gonna make them see hell. Like, in the best way possible for these people, okay? With everything I say, biggest thing is like, your intent is the most important thing. None of these tactics matter if your intent is off, right? If you guys are just doing it to win the deal and to make money, you'll see some results, but you'll always be capped. If you genuinely believe that your offer is going to help the person for the better and it's going to help them make a change, and you deliver these tactics, that's a match made in heaven. Because there's a reason that I or Anton, one of my students, if you guys have seen him, he'll say some harsh shit to people. He'll literally say to people like, if you're gonna fucking do this, fucking do it. If you're not, never make an excuse for why you're not where you want to be ever again. Like, he will say that to people. But the reason, even if they don't buy, they still have love and admiration for him and like they still thank him, is because his intent is right. He's genuinely doing it for their best interest and they can feel that. So I'll call prospects motherfuckers and all these names, but like, the intent is there. That's the most important thing. So how do you drop them back to reality? By the way, is anyone doing this on their calls? Is anyone? Yeah. Okay. How do you bring someone back to reality?
I actually, I don't know if it was from one of your videos, but I found that going back to reality was like way better than going straight to the thing. So I think I just asked them, and do you feel like if nothing, or if you keep doing things the same way, do you feel like over the next 6 months you'll get the goal? And they'll be like, no, I don't think it's going to happen. And then I'll consequence them, like, I'll ask them to get me the consequence. I'll say like, oh, so I guess like, what do you think is going to happen then? And then kind of go into it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that actually. That's different. I like that. Yeah. What's another way? Yeah.
I kind of use your identity frame where you go like, look, I'm not saying this will happen because, you know, you're on this call for a reason and you've reached out, you want to make a change. But let's say you keep on, you know, running your business the same way that you have been these next 3, 6, 9 months. I guess like, what would that look like then?
That's good. That's good. I would say that's consequence though. So I'll show you what I mean.
Is that where you're leading now though? Or are you still in?
There's one step in between.
Oh, okay.
So you got where they want to be. I'm going to bring them back to reality.
Okay.
Then consequence.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just to bring it back to the current situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a gap question, is that what you mean? Like
Yeah.
a gap consequence?
Okay. So what I mean by bringing back to reality. Yeah.
No, I jumped
Yeah.
ahead. So let's say if they say, oh, I feel happy, blah, 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 would you say something like, oh, and if you're feeling happy when you're at that 2.0 version of yourself, like, how are you actually feeling now?
Okay, cool. No, none of you got it, but that's okay. That's what, yeah.
What I've been doing from the future pace is I'm like, yeah, then I get, we want to make it 50K a month.
Yeah.
And naturally we've got to let things die off so we can step into that 2.0 version. What do you feel like you need to let go of from what's already been said at the front of the call, from like objections? What needs to be let go of so we can reach goal of 50K a month and solve the problem?
Yeah.
That's what I go next, and then I consequence that.
Yeah, I like that too. Like if you never let go of those things that have been holding back. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one too. I think you got the closest to what I would do, but that's good too. There's no one way to sell. All of this shit works. But what I say is, okay, cool. At the moment, bringing it back to today, with the current, if we're selling BizOp, I'll do fitness. With the current skills you have right now, or with your current social media marketing system, the way you're currently doing things, and you can be real with me like you have been, how close are you to actually being at this point? With the current skills you have around sales, like be real with me like you have been, how close are you to actually being able to give back to your family and book that flight to New York?
Pretty fucking far.
Right. So I'm not saying this will happen, because obviously you're on the call for a reason, you want to make a change. But let's just say you never actually learn the right skills to get to this point. And for the next 3, 6, 12 months, you just keep doing more of the same. Like, what does that look like?
Not good.
What do you mean?
Like, if I'm still in the same position, it's the last thing I want to happen because I'll feel pretty shit about myself.
And at the end of the day, like, whose choice is it whether you actually settle for this or this?
I mean, it's my choice.
Cool. Now that would be where I transition to pitch. But see how we dropped them back to reality? Negative, make them see hell. And then I like to go, I always sell internal. I really like to sell people on the idea that it's down to them to change. Because when they're in the program, that's going to serve them best. If I just tell them we're really great and our program's amazing and like that's why they should work with us, they're set with the wrong expectations from the start. They're going to expect you to do everything. Especially now that I like fulfill on what I sell as well, I've noticed there's a difference to when I was just selling. When you're just selling, fucking yeah, get them across the line, let the coach sort that shit out. Like now that I'm fulfilling, I'm like, shit, setting their expectations is really important. So I like to put ownership on them, always. That's my style, that's how I like to sell. So I say, whose choice is it, whether you settle for that or not? If you feel like, if they have a wife or a husband, you maybe get a lot of partner objections, that's gonna help as well. Whose choice is it? Yeah, it's mine, no one else's. Cool. Then I transition to pitch. Any questions on this future pacing?
Yeah, one question with the consequence, like how do you make sure that you always get the answer you want from the consequence?
Mhm.
Like, is it like the future case has to be right or establishing the right problem? Or both of it really. But is there a certain way that you keep looping the consequence to make sure you get the answer you want?
Mhm. So yeah, there is. It comes down to knowing what answer you want, right? So you're on the right step. What happens a lot of the time is if someone doesn't answer the way we want them to, we will either not ask again because maybe we don't know how to, maybe we're afraid of asking again, maybe we don't know how to, like I said. We might also like blame the prospect. We might think they're being rude or they're trying to avoid it, and then it changes our energy. The biggest thing to realize is they just might not answer it because they don't actually understand why you're asking or what you want. So like, I'm guessing, tell me if I'm wrong, but sometimes you might ask that and people are like, well, that won't happen. Or no, like I'm gonna make a change. I just don't see that happening. Like I'm so motivated right now. That would be an example of an answer that you don't want. So there is a way to get the answer you want. Like you just gotta re-ask. So let's just role play. You be as difficult as you wanna be and I'll loop fucking for the next 2 hours if you want.
Yeah.
But eventually I'm gonna get the answer I need. So let's go. So cool, I'm not saying this will happen, but let's just say you don't learn the right skills to grow your fitness coaching business and you always stay at the 3K a month mark and you don't learn how to get to that next point. Like what does that look like over the next 3, 6, 12 months?
But I will learn the right skills. It's not going to happen.
Sorry, well, what I meant was like, I'm not doubting your motivation or your work ethic. Like you're clearly motivated. That's why you're here. At the same time, like over the last 6 to 12 months, we haven't learned the right skills. So I'm not saying that you won't, but if you did, and you continued to not have the right skills, like you have, what would that actually look like?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I just keep trying and eventually I will get there.
For sure. I know you can get there. Like I can see it in the way you talk and it's actually refreshing because a lot of business owners don't have that self-belief to actually get to where they want to be. So I know that you believe in yourself and I believe in you as well. I know you can get there as well. It's just maybe how long it takes you, right? So over the next 3, 6, 12 months, while you're still figuring it out, without actually being where you want to be, what does that look like though?
It just take longer to get there than hey.
For sure. But I mean, some people would be willing to settle for that. So why not just settle for that? For sure. Also, at the same time, like over those next few months, while you're still learning, what does life actually look like while you still put up with this?
You got me. No, everything just stays the same.
Okay. And like my memory is a bit like Dory. When you say staying the same, like what does that actually look like day to day?
I'm just not having a good time I want with my family.
Right? So it took like what, 3, 4 loops to get there? But you just keep going. And you just reword it differently. Right? And now sometimes you might need to throw in analogies. Like I think I heard it from one of the closers on the old offer. It was like, when you cross the street, do you just check one way? No, I check both. Yeah, because like you might be fine one way, but then you fucking cross and you get fucking destroyed by a truck, right? You check both ways. Another way is like, for sure, like it's important to know what we want and why we want it. At the same time, like, do you know who Tony Robbins is? Yeah, one thing he said that stuck with me is like clarity equals power. Not just on what we want, but also what we don't want. Because Usain Bolt's a pretty fast motherfucker. But I guarantee you, if you put a tiger behind him, he'll run even faster. So for you, like, what's the tiger that you're running away from? What don't you want? So you can also throw that in if you need to. Yeah.
There's the other Usain Bolt analogy as well, his book.
Go on.
Pretty sure I heard it from you. Usain Bolt, like, I've been reading this book lately. The reason
My memory is like Dory. Refresh me.
I'm actually trying to think what it was. It's like, I'm actually reading Usain Bolt's book. And for him, yeah, he has all the reasons as to why he has to come first. But what's actually driving him is what happens if he doesn't come first. The missed out potential.
I think that was
so
Anton.
for you, like, that's Anton?
Yeah. That's good too. And again, another example of you guys bringing stuff you learn in your own life or from books or from podcasts into this. Like the amount of analogies and stuff I've learned from listening to Chris Williamson's podcast. Like I've learned so much shit that I can go, damn, that's the same in sales. And then you can use this stuff, like play around with it. Because again, we're all seeing the same sales advice on our feed, right? Even if it's from schmucks like me. Like I'm telling you to say certain word tracks because it's good for marketing. But eventually what I tell you guys to say will get over popular and will get overused, right? And then every sales guy's saying it, and before you know it, it's not effective anymore. Alex Hormozi's "Would you be opposed" line was a fucking banger when it first started, for maybe like a few months, and then every motherfucker started using it. Would you be opposed to hiring an appointment setter? Fuck off. Like everyone says it now. So whatever I teach, like take the principles and make it your own. Make it your own with your own life experience, your own stories, your own analogies. That's what's gonna land. Yeah.
I would like your thoughts. One way I said it when people gave me a bit of that friction, I just asked them, you know, what's the main difference that we notice between people that get more of a slow progress or people that actually get fast results on our program? And they usually say discipline or things like this, and I go, yeah, you're close. But one thing that we really notice is that a lot of time people have goals, but still that's not enough for them to go and chase them. And usually the people that get the most results are people that are just very aware of the consequences of not taking the actions they need to take. And usually they go like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, and then I put it on the consequence. So for you personally, how do you feel this would look like in the next 6-12 months if you didn't take these actions X, Y, and Z?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about this, your friend?
I think it's okay. Hey bro, this is Joe. The only problem with it is it's a little suggestive, right? Like, I wouldn't do that if you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the times you can ask this and you don't need to give context. You don't need to justify. Now, if they go down 3-4 loops, then yeah, maybe you say something like that.
Okay.
But I wouldn't start off with it
Yeah.
because it's like you're kind of forcing that idea and belief onto them. We always want them to come to the conclusion themselves.
Okay. Yeah. Just
Okay.
if they really need to.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
In a B2B setting, like let's take the e-com founder, let's go first class to private.
Yeah.
How do you bring him down in that case?
So yeah. Okay, let's say you never are able to fly private because you don't learn the right skills. And like, dude, you're already crushing it. A lot of people would be happy with where you're at. But if you never actually get to that next level, what does that look like?
Still just fly first class and go through security.
Yeah, and that's not so bad, right? But like, why not settle for that? Like, what's driving you to actually push to that next level?
Probably just the speed, the quickness, and time travel.
Yeah, and I'd be happy with that, by the way. Like, my happiness of an answer in the consequence phase with someone that's running away from pain is different to someone that's running towards pleasure. So like that guy, I'm not gonna sell as much to pain because he doesn't have as much. I'm gonna sell more to his positive. Like, I still do it, it's just lighter. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, because I used to do, and I still do it sometimes, like, so I guess my main concern is what happens if, and then I say all the things that, right, but I've kind of been trying out, like, so first I'll say, like, your question was good, how close do you feel that you are, and kind of getting them to say those things in the consequence, trying to, like, get them to give me the consequence, because what I say doesn't make sure what they say.
Yes.
Is most important. Do you ever do it like that? Like where you say, like, so I guess what are you worried might happen? Like kind of trying to get them to go through the consequence and give you those things rather than you saying, oh, you don't lose the weight, you regain, blah, 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 blah. Like, will you ever do it that way?
If you get the same answer, fuck yes. Do it that way. As long as you're getting the same answer.
Yeah, okay.
How you ask it, it's like, obviously it's important, but if you're getting the same answer and they're telling it, they're coming to that conclusion themselves, that's better.
So is that better?
Yeah, do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more context dependent you can make your questions, the better. Like if you can ask the exact same question to any prospect, it might not be custom enough. But if you ask a question that's so damn specific to that person, you couldn't possibly be talking to anyone else, that's when it lands and people feel like you're actually hearing them. Cool. All right, I'm going to touch on pitch super fucking quick, and then we'll have a quick break and go to objections. So in terms of the pitch, for those already selling, how do you guys structure your pitch? Just yell it out. If you have a structure. Yeah, conviction. Yeah. What else?
I've been structuring my new pitch to what they've given me they need support with. So
Yep.
if they say they need support with, for example, products and suppliers, branding and marketing, I'm tailoring my pitch to exactly that. And then our service helps with those three things.
Awesome. Yeah.
I go through like logistical stuff at the start, like the program, not in tons of detail, like tailored up their program, their communication, and then I just go into like problem, why it's happening, solution, outcome.
Interesting.
Tailor.
Okay. Yep.
On that, like, based off the support question, obviously, going like in the structure, it's like, this is the problem that people like you come to us with, which causes X negative outcome. So the way that we solve that for clients like you is X, Y, Z, what we offer in the program, which means you can get positive outcome, which causes these positive things for business. And then ask them like a question like, if they're talking about lead generation, and then ask a doubt question before moving on to the next bill. So like, and what did you say you're doing to like generate quality leads at the moment? And we're just doing a few riddles. Okay, cool. Then you get them to doubt.
Love that. Yeah, it's really fucking good. Yeah. Is that from Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it. This is how I do it. I have 3 main pillars, sometimes 4. And so if you're selling fitness, like I would suggest, how long does your pitch take at the moment, the way you currently pitch?
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
I reckon you can simplify it,
Yeah.
especially with fitness. Like these guys got to get out of their head. They just need to fucking do.
Yeah.
So with fitness, it should be super easy. It's like pillar 1 is nutrition. So remember how you said you're struggling to track or you're not eating the right foods, you're finding it hard to stay consistent? Well, that's why we do X, Y, Z. Does that make sense? Yes? So you relate it back to what they said. You know how you said X, Y, Z? You know how you mentioned you're struggling with this? Well, what we do is X, Y, Z, which solves that. Similar to what Jax was saying, I think it was like what a lot of people do with their nutrition is this, this, and this, which causes them to struggle with this, this, and this. And so what we do is this, which is going to help you prevent that. That's similar, right? Basically along the same lines?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. That would be pillar 1. Now, after every pillar, you want to check in. What most people do in their pitch is they'll just like pitch, do a great presentation, and the prospect's just sitting there like listening. Sometimes they fall asleep. Sometimes they check their phone. Like they're not paying attention. You've got to keep them on the ball. So I do a little check-in, which is like, does that make sense? Or any questions? Any of that not make sense? Little check-in just to get them, yes, right? Make sure they're with you. And then I say, would that...
Do you get micro buy-in after every single pillar?
Yeah. Would that help? Yeah. Where do you see that benefiting the business? Do you feel like that would actually help you though? Little check-in to get them, yes, that would help. Yes, that would help. Then second one would be like exercise. Same thing, same structure. You know how you said before that like you're going to the gym, but you don't really have like a set routine that you follow, or you're not tracking your weights, which is causing you to like struggle with actually putting on muscle. Well, that's why we make sure that you track everything, which is going to sound hard at first, right? You do that, same thing. Then 3 would be like accountability. And you know how you said you've tried a bunch of different things in the past, but it didn't really stick? Well, what I'm going to do is make sure that every single week, we're not just going to have like a 30-minute call for the sake of it. We're going to have a 30-minute call to make sure you're actually sticking with the plan. Because no matter what advice I give you, Mr. X, if you don't do it, you're going to stay fat. Or whatever you want to say. That would be fitness. If it's business, like the way I pitch, yeah?
Can I offer a different perspective on fitness from Jevon?
Yeah, sure.
So the way he does it, because he goes effective, so we're going to make sure it actually works, you're actually getting the results you want, and then that you'll enjoy it. Because you're actually going to enjoy what you're doing, you're going to enjoy losing the weight, you're going to enjoy the food you're eating, and then there's the support and accountability after that.
Yeah. That's how I do it as well.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, definitely.
But I find his pitch was a bit longer. Like, I sometimes 10-15 minutes to get through all of it. Or maybe 10 minutes to get through all of it. I felt like it's short.
You might be able to slim that down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I felt like I had to kind of chop away at it because I've pretty much memorized the whole pitch. But it's just a bit long. Yeah, I felt like I feel like I was losing it by the end.
I think if you speak with like conviction, loads of conviction, like I'm gonna fucking change your life, and then you keep asking questions to create why, to keep them turned on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good point. The more pain someone's in, the more certainty you want to have in your pitch. So if you're selling to like someone that wants to lose weight or like Devin's mobility offer, his pitch is really fucking good. I was listening to it last week and I was like, damn, that's a good pitch. It wasn't what he was saying, it was how he was saying it. It was, so you know how you said this? We're gonna make sure that this doesn't happen. And he like spoke with that conviction and certainty. And especially with people that are running away from pain, they need a bit of that. They need someone to lead them and just like, don't worry, like daddy's here. Like, fucking, you know, like you got this. You got this, my guy. Like, you need a bit of that leadership. If it's like a B2B offer, I'm not gonna be like, and this is gonna help you get those leads, so you actually make sure you, like, fuck no, like, less certainty. But you still have conviction, you still have confidence in what you're doing. You don't like look around, you don't like fidget, and you know, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that you guys get more leads. Like, no, you still speak with certainty, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
That's like overall. Now, if it's if you're selling an ROI offer, super similar. You just got to find 3 pillars, 3 to 4. Like when I sell closers cold, I basically say we start with the skills. We start with like what questions you ask, why you ask them, what answer, objection handling, tonality, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Do you feel like that would help? Yes. Sweet. Next thing we help you do is land an offer. Then I walk them through how we get an offer. Now there's 2 ways that I teach. One is the course and one is the coaching. So same shit. It's like skills, offer, accountability. It's still 3 pillars, it's just worded differently. Okay, that's the pitch. Any questions on that? No? All right, cool.